You Catholics are a bunch of idol-worshipping, gospel-forsaking Pharisees. You Protestants are a bunch of work-lacking, history-forsaking heretics.
Name
Why
one
not just
church
go
father,
straight to
just
Jesus?
one.
You've
Faith
become a
without works
slave
is
to your
dead.
tradition. You
Submit
worship
to
the
Rome.
saints by
Hail Mary,
grace
full of
alone,
grace,
through
the
faith
Lord is
alone.
bread.
Okay. Jokes aside, Christianity has a problem with using the straw man against each other. For those of you who don't know, the straw man fallacy is when you make up your own argument by exaggerating or distorting your opponent's argument. In doing this, you don't actually go up against your opponent's real argument, but the weaker one you wrongly accused him of having. In this video, we'll start off with my home field and talk about the straw mans that are used against Protestants. Straw man number one. All Protestant churches are a bunch of rock concerts and fog machines. While this can be said about the brain rot slop of the evangelical megachurch, classical Protestantism still has beautiful churches. We see this in Presbyterian, Lutheran, Anglican, and so on. Furthermore, there is still a plethora of classic and beautiful hymns that are founded and still sung at these Protestant churches. Such hymns as Come Thy Fount, Holy, 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 Jesus Paid It All, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, and even the iconic Amazing Grace, just to name a few. This type of reverence in worship is echoed by the writings of the Reformation founders, such as John Calvin and Martin Luther. And we can look at the entirety of the Book of Common Prayer, which is written by Thomas Cranmer. Straw man number two. Protestants throw away tradition and church authority. This one is short and simple. Sola Scriptura is the idea that Scripture is the only infallible authority. Now, this doesn't mean that church authority and tradition are useless. It just means that they have lesser authority than Scripture. Again, this is reflected in the writings of the Reformation founders. John Calvin talks about it. Martin Luther talks about it. Thomas Cranmer talks about it. Ulrich Zwingli, Swedish guy, talks about it. So yes, church authority has a vote. Tradition has a vote. Scripture has the veto. Straw man number three. Protestants think works is meaningless. Protestants don't believe that one can forsake works and use the gospel as some excuse to sin. Yes, we affirm that we are saved by faith alone, but that faith is a faith that produces works. Again, we can look at the Reformation founders and their writings on these topics. Both John Calvin and Martin Luther talked about the beauty that is in good works, as did Thomas Cranmer and Ulrich Zwingli. Now, there are things that can be valid criticisms against Protestants. A lot of Protestants don't like looking into church history. A lot of Protestants have a retreat-type mentality when progressive leftists try to take over their church. However, when it comes to core doctrine beliefs, it does no one good to use straw mans. Next video, we will be discussing what straw mans dirty little prots like me use against Catholicism.